Thank you. Holland and I, you were just finishing with Holland on this very same subject, and we've just been discussing it. We're talking about settling. I mean, I know you won't tell us to settle, but
Settle for less than you really want?
right, right. And I wonder if you could go into. I heard Jerry Seinfeld just this last week or so. He said, "I bet on myself and I didn't lose, and the reward is very deep." So we were just discussing, in a relationship in the area, we're sort of opening up the energy. Men are starting to come into our lives again, and we've made a decision from the last tapes that was so helpful. So now that we're doing it, but someone shows up, and then like this isn't it, but I can enjoy them with all that I'm doing. I'm getting so loving and so appreciative of them. I might as well, I could almost go back to my husband, and be happy with him. You know what I'm saying? And I love him. I love him so much. I love them all. But I did have a soulmate experience and I know that I was given this sight that has led me really to this, to be connected to myself, so I'm certainly sure of that. So the other aspect of it is, I've heard you say that if you have an intention that is maybe a dominant intention, maybe that my dominant intention is to be the feeling of unconditional love flowing through me, loving everyone. I want that the most of anything. And I'm practicing it all around me, wherever I can. It just feels so good. That's why I'm doing it. So that's getting good, but I still would like to have that experience again that I know is possible. And just last week I saw Diane Sawyer on a program, and they asked her about her relationship to Mike Nichols, and she bowed her head, and what she said, how she felt about him was very similar to what I felt that Esther felt about Jerry. And I've seen those. I think it's possible to have those kind of soul experiences, because that's what got me started on this whole trek anyway. So I wonder if you could give us some support for maybe keeping on with your dream, and then in the meantime enjoying things as you go, because I missed a couple of them that I really, now I would go back and enjoy.
There is so much importance in the statement that you made about enjoying it wherever you are, because what happens to most of you, especially when you are looking for a relationship, is that you feel this unfinished business. There isn't anything that we see it any more amplified in than the subject of relationship, where you are standing where you are, looking off to where you want to be, and feeling the crevasse from where you are to where you want to be.
I hate that feeling, and that's why I've not stopped along the way, because I didn't want that feeling.
Have you ever yourself experienced it, or watched someone else who wanted something, maybe a relationship or maybe a new house, and in the desire you could see a sort of renewed life happening, and then their desire is somehow satisfied. They get a relationship, or they get their man, so to speak, and then before you know it, they're sort of all limp again. In other words, not very long satisfied with the treasure that they reeled in. And again, as in that old song that you hear sung so often, is that all there is? Well, is that all there is? Well, is that all there is? And that's why we want so much for you to realize that no creation is ever complete. When you say you don't think Abraham would ever encourage you to settle for something, you're right in the sense that we think you should identify what you want and always go after it, which is the same as saying always do your best to achieve a vibrational match with it. But what we've noticed is that you never get it done. In other words, if your desire isn't continuing to grow, and you aren't continually having something new to reach for, then you don't summon life force, and so nothing stays alive. You don't stay alive, your relationship doesn't stay alive. And so when we say, no, we wouldn't settle, what we really mean is, if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would not even settle for the now. We would always be reaching for something more. Settling is sort of saying, well, now it's done. Now I've got my mate. Now what should I work on? And what we want you to realize is that a relationship is something so fluid and so continually growing that it's something that every day you must wake up and decide again what you want, and decide again from your now new, always changing perspective how to now achieve vibrational harmony with your new clarity of desire. And so whether you achieve vibrational harmony right now with all that you will ever want, that's an interesting thought, isn't it? Can I, right now, with the perspective that I hold, ever really achieve vibrational harmony with all that I will ever want? You can't, can you? Because your perspective is always going to change. Every time you want something and achieve vibrational harmony with it and allow it to come to you, you not only gain the satisfaction of having accomplished your desire, you also gain a whole new perspective from which to desire. In other words, every time you take a step forward toward anything, your perspective changes again. So what we're really getting at here is, we think that if you could, let's go back to that little game we played about how if you were taking a trip and you said, I'm going to go here and here and here and here, and since my final destination is home, then why go? That's sort of what you're trying to do, most of you who are looking for mates that you haven't quite found yet. You're so interested in getting to where you're going that you're missing the fun of going there, you see. And that's why it pleases us when you say, I'm finding all kinds of satisfaction with different people. I'm collecting lots of different data. I'm finding new ways to be allowing. I'm probably discovering even things about myself that I want that I didn't even know I want. And so just relax and enjoy this journey. In other words, who was it that gave you the impression that there was some destination that you were trying to get to? In other words, there is no place that you're supposed to be.
I was told there was a twin flame. And I thought that was a reality. I thought that
well,
was
you see,
a
what there is,
person.
you have a energy that comes forth from within you that is your source energy. And your goal is to match that energy. And when you do, then you'll be offering an energy that is so pure and so loud and so influential that then another who is of the same energy can come to you. You know why most people don't find their soulmates? Because a soulmate is someone who's in vibrational harmony with your soul. And if you're not in vibrational harmony with your own soul, your soulmate can't come to you. Can you hear us? In other words, there are lots of you who have bumped into, sometimes you've even married them, people who are a vibrational match at your core. But what happens is, you find yourself finding little things to nitpick about, and they find themselves finding little things to nitpick about, and you use all kinds of excuses, not meaning to hold yourself not in harmony with your core energy. And then you're not only not in harmony with them, you're not in harmony with you. Have you heard the expression, be true to yourself? And can you hear that what we're really talking about when we say be true to yourself is be in vibrational harmony with who you are? When you are true to yourself, you are joyful. When you are true to yourself, you are adventurous. When you are true to yourself, you are happy, you are exhilarant, you are vital, you are enthusiastic, you are passionate. When you are true to yourself, you are loving and appreciative, you see. And so as you play these games of working to be more and more in connection with who you are, we promise you, your soulmate will come to you. And if it's taking a little while, that's only because it's taking you a little while to consistently offer that beam, that signal, that vibrational output. We would like it if you could get a sense of that. In other words, we would really like it if you could recognize that in every moment you are sending out a signal. Have you seen when the car dealership offers a sale on cars, and sometimes they'll put those big beacon lights in the parking lot that shine into the sky, and you can see them from all around the city? And when you see them, you know if you could trace it back to its root, you'd find yourself at a sale of a car. Don't you always know that's what that means? In other words, something's going on here that we want to draw you to. Well, your signal is really not so different from that. When you offer a pure signal that is in vibrational concert with your core energy, it can't be missed. And anybody that's a vibrational match to it will easily find their way to it. But if you're offering all kinds of mixed signals off in all kinds of different directions, then you're attracting all kinds of people that might or might not be, usually aren't, a vibrational match to your core. Why? Because you're not a vibrational match to your core. Get the sense of this?
Thank you very
Indeed.
much.